Hello, this is both Matts, Matt Hay and Matt Bennett. I'm here to show off what we've gotten done for our ShifteD project. And we're also representing Aaron Hammerhuber, who is not here with us at the moment. But first things first, this is our test scene for our player. And what we worked on this week really was just general core mechanics for the player. So jumping, double jump, dashing, and wall run. And so far, I'll play this. What we have at the moment is just general jump, and we took some time to make sure it felt really smooth and with enough weight on the player, and it probably doesn't show exactly how the feel of the character is because you're not the one pressing the spacebar, but you got a general double jump. We've made sure to lock it off so that no triple jump can happen, because that was happening at one point. But then we started working on dash once that was done, and it has started, we'll say. We'll ramp this up so it's noticeable. However, we're having some issues where we need to modify more than just the velocity, or modify it over time, because we get more of a little burst, which doesn't look that great, and it doesn't always work as well. So that's a work in progress. Also, what we're also working on is wall running. So you can jump on a wall. Right now you stick, which has to do with the friction against the player and the wall. So that's a pain, and that's our biggest roadblock at the moment. So we're working on getting through that, because we don't want to take all the friction off the wall with just a physics material, because there may be points when you're walking on the top of the walls if you happen to switch into top down. So we're finding a workaround for that at the moment. But yeah, that's basic player movement that we worked on so far. We're really just trying to get these controls as tight and as smooth as possible. Moving on to camera shift screen.
Alright, so in here we got the camera shift test scene. And as you can see, if we play, we're currently looking at it from a 3D perspective, and I can shift into a 2D perspective. Oh, we have a different build. As you can see, there's currently some issues we're running into. The rigid body, if we show this, is sitting inside the game object. For whatever reason, on this scene specifically, in the other scene, this isn't happening, and it is purely due to the rigid body. So that's one of the bugs we have to fix. So here, let me just do this scene without this rigid body. So we just have the moving object script. We have one for the static objects, as you can see, that we can just drag on, and it will move things properly. And then for moving objects, we're working on trying to create a dynamic environment. Right now, the moving objects behave like static objects. If we go into our scene, you can see that this is, in fact, in 2D side scroller. And then if I switch to top down, you can see that, in fact, everything is in a top down perspective. And then when we move back, and it took some time to try and make the animations actually smooth and that they time well together. We also have, theoretically, we should be able to, when we switch perspective, it should save how far along it was on the object. And then if we move and we reshift to perspective, it's supposed to be in a corresponding spot based on the percentage of the depth. That's also not working. Trying to fix through that. But we at least have the basics down. Edge cases, like right here, if I switch into 2D side scroller, I am now behind the cube. Things like that we still have to work on, but there's so much with this camera movement. We're just taking one chunk at a time. Right now, our biggest hindrance really is that with gravity, it sits inside the object, so we can't test anything with a movable player object until that is fixed. Other than that, that's where we are, and that is currently ShifteD. Yeah.